cost to replace shocks and struts. When it comes to maintaining the comfort and safety of your car, replacing shock absorbers and struts is an unavoidable maintenance task. They are important to ensure that your car behaves well on the road, providing stability when cornering, accelerating, and braking. This guide will look at the cost of replacing shocks and struts, breaking down costs for the front and rear shocks, the best replacement option, and the best place to get shocks and struts replaced. So let's get right into them all. Understanding shocks and struts. Before we get into the pricing, it's important to understand what shock absorbers and struts are and why they are important for your vehicle. Shocks, or shock absorbers, are hydraulic devices designed to absorb shock waves. Struts, on the other hand, are structural parts of the suspension system that is responsible for providing a place for the shock absorbers to sit. Both work hand in hand to improve the vehicle's stability. But shock absorbers are also an important part of the vehicle's suspension system. Replacing shock absorbers and supports costs money. On most vehicles, the average cost to replace shock absorbers and struts can vary depending on the make, model, and quality of the part. In general, you can expect to spend between $200 and $1,500 for the entire process. This price includes labor and the parts themselves. High-end or luxury cars can be priced at the upper end of this range or more, as these cars are often in demand due to their unique features. Rear shock replacement cost versus front shock replacement cost. Replacing the rear shocks on your vehicle tends to be a simpler and more budget-friendly task compared to working on the front suspension. The price for swapping out rear shock absorbers usually falls between $100 and $300 for each shock or struts, and this estimate covers both the parts and the labor involved. On the other hand, replacing the front shocks and struts can set you back anywhere from $450 to $1,100. While it's technically possible to only replace the shocks or struts, doing so might not yield the best results in terms of how your car performs. If you're noticing any signs that your shocks and struts are bad, signs like unusual knocking sounds, a ride that feels bumpier than usual, a tire wear pattern that looks cupped, and other similar issues, it might be time to consider getting them replaced. Cost of service for the installation of those who fear and support labor costs for installing shock absorbers and struts can vary greatly. Typically, a mechanic will charge $150, $300 per axle for labor alone. Total labor costs may depend on the type of vehicle, the complexity of the strut assembly, and the hourly rate of the mechanic or repair shop. In some cases, vehicles with more complex suspension systems or requiring additional maintenance work may see higher costs. Toyota Camry. Struts replacement. Cost. The Toyota Camry is known for its reliability and cheap maintenance. However, like any car, its parts wear out over time, including the shock absorbers. On average, Toyota Camry strut replacement costs can range from $450 to $700 per strut, depending on the model year and whether you choose aftermarket or OEM, original equipment manufacturer parts. This price includes parts and labor. For a complete replacement of all four mounts, you can expect to pay between $1,800 and $2,800. Midas bracket replacement cost. Midas is a well-known network that offers a wide range of car services, including the replacement of shock absorbers. The cost of strut replacement at Midas can vary by location and vehicle type, but on average, you can expect to pay between $450 and $900 for a pair of struts, including labor. Midas often offers warranties on parts and labor, which can add value to your service offering. Best place to replace shock absorbers and struts. When it comes to the best places for replacing shock absorbers and struts, there are several options to consider. First of all, you can consider going to the dealership, which is ideal if you are looking for OEM parts and professional service for their vehicle models. However, resellers can be more expensive than other options. Secondly, you can go to a repair shop like Midas or Firestone, which offers consistent quality and state-of-the-art warranties. Their prices can be competitive and they often offer special offers or discounts. Last but not the least, you may want to go to independent mechanics. An independent mechanic will offer a more personalized service and possibly lower prices. It is important to choose a reputable contractor with good reviews. And finally, you can go the do-it-yourself route. For the handyman, replacing shocks and struts can be a cost-effective option. However, it requires the right tools, skills, and knowledge. Replacing shock absorbers and struts is an important part of car maintenance, which guarantees safety and comfort on the road of the car, the quality of the parts, and the service provider. It is an investment in the longevity and performance of your car. Whether you own a Toyota Camry or another vehicle, understanding these costs and knowing reliable service can help you make the right decision about your car's maintenance. Always remember to consult with a repair professional or service provider to get an accurate estimate of your needs.